Well, how do you like me bad-mouthing Google? I use it every day, so to get your attention, I really want you to know when to use it, when not to use it. That's the important thing, and we think it has everything, and I guess it does, but you'll never find it. We say this a lot of times, and particularly for the uninitiated, you're just going to waste money, waste time, or whatever. And there's two other places I think are much better than ever using Google if you don't have money and you're trying to solve financial problems. Forget Google for a while until you really know what you're up to. And the two places are the library and nonprofit organizations. And there is so much information in the world. I mean, that's what's great about Google. It handles the billions and billions of stuff. When I first started in the information business, the biggest source of information, a single source, was the Library of Congress. Okay, that was the largest single source. And I don't know, whether they have a couple million books or something like that. That's peanuts, because now we're talking billions. Okay, so we've exploded. And we really have no way of teaching people how to deal with this explosion. So everybody has to lose a lot of money and figure it out for themselves. And now that less people have money, right now, the 30 million people that are on unemployment are going to, lose maybe the extra $600 a week. They're negotiating that on Capitol Hill. They negotiated it yesterday. They said, hi, and I'm nice to see you. Yeah, I got to answer those other questions. I'm sorry. I'll get that out to you. And hit me again if in a few hours you don't get that, okay? Just send me another, tweak or whatever. And so actually on the unemployment, that extra $600, it looks like they're still negotiating, so that means it's going to be higher than 200. It may or may not be 600 yet. But, they're talking about a little bit of movement that happened in negotiating yesterday, which was Saturday. Today is Sunday. They're not going to negotiate today, so they're going to come back and try and negotiate tomorrow. Numbers look bad all over. More people dying, more people out of work. The biggest recession in the history of the United States since they've been keeping numbers. So all that affects these people. And, of course, an election coming up. But let's get back to Google. The biggest fear, as if you've seen me at all before, is that you're going to use Google and see you put in grants or something like that, and you'll get 60 billion websites. You don't know what the hell's good or bad. I don't know either. And problem is that people pay Google to make sure you see their website. So if someone's paying Google to make sure you see their website, that's more likely the websites you're going to see than the ones that are also on Google, but they're a very small part, but really in the millions, maybe billions, that do the same thing these people charge for free. So that's what's very interesting, and it's hard to get around Google with that. So that's why I think that until you learn your subject area, you just don't mess with Google at all. Or anytime you mess with Google, you only do a .org or a .gov. That means these are people who don't charge you money. .coms will charge you money. And then another thing besides your library, see, your library has reference librarians. These are terrific people. They've handled probably your questions 1,000 times. And they may or may not be able to tell you the right things to go or places to go. But what's good about them is that they know places in the community. So that's another thing. A lot of government money goes locally to give out to individuals. So they're more likely to know what's going on and where to go to get that money, because you have to get it locally, and that help and money locally instead of nationally. And so you got somebody who does this as a living, helping people find local help, and they're free, and you can talk to them. They have, dial a librarian, book a librarian, all these kinds of things to use their expertise for free. And so that's what's really, really very important, that you have somebody, because it's all about asking the right questions. You don't know the questions to ask if you go to Google. because you're going to put grants, and maybe the help you want is under relief, or it's under direct payments, or it's under all kinds of other things that you wouldn't even know to ask for. So that's why you got to stay away from it. Now, the other thing I think is very important to know about is nonprofit organizations that put together, that curate things. Okay, in other words, they take the billions of websites that are out there, and then they make a reference guide. I mean, that's what I used to do. I mean, write reference books, and take all this information, put it in one place for you to see it. Well, now, see, with the internet, there are very good people doing this on the internet. Like, here's one I really like called Needymeds, NEEDYMEDS.org. Now, that is a place for health, to get free and low-cost health care. And that's terrific. I mean, I have sources on that. And, if you're a member, I'll show you a report for your area. I mean, they miss some stuff I get, but they're very good on this. If you Google, like, dental care or something, you're just going to get some dentist who pretends he's giving it for free, and you're going to pay it. You're going to have to pay anyway. But Needymeds is that way, and also Needymeds has a lot of grants in there for people who are ill, and that's very good, because I see a lot of my members now. Actually, a lot of the questions are people with disabilities, that need help and financial help, and that's a good. Or you need, getting through a disease or an ailment or something like that. What nonprofit organizations give out grants to help you get there to the final end, or help you fix up your house because you need that? See, that's the kind of stuff Needymeds will do. Now, I was helping a fella. I think he needed a scooter or something to get around. He has a disability, and so I started searching the internet for like help with scooters or something like that. And there's a lot of organizations that tell you about that. But when you look there closely, first of all, the clue is they're .com. So they're really people trying to sell scooters. And they say, okay, here's the places, and they maybe say something in general, but their real motive is to sell scooters. So they don't have your motive in mind. They don't have your need in mind. Their website tells them their first, their first thing in life to do is to sell a scooter, okay? And not to show you how. I mean, that's for like second, to lure you in to get that. So that's why, now I found another nonprofit organization that does this, and they're nonprofit. That's not selling you anything. So they're a nonprofit, a .org, and it's called the United Spinal Association, and it's a Spinal Cord Resource Center. Okay, the Spinal Cord Resource Center is for anybody with any kind of disability. You don't have to have a spinal cord disability. You could just be of diabetes or whatever. But they have a wonderful listing. They did the research. So you have somebody spend their life just doing that. The other people, like Google, they have robots doing it. So they don't know a grant from a granite, and that will show up. So that's important, to find somebody who specializes in the area, like Needymeds.org. Now, this is United Spinal Association, and their thing there is their resource center. And they have probably about 50 to 100 sources. Now, let me run you something that anybody could use with any kind of disability, okay? Funding for uninsured expenses, okay? So they have all the sources there that they have for paying for uninsured expenses, no matter what you have. You have your tooth pulled, and you have some of it covered, some of it not covered. This is a place, okay? And then they have funding your handicap accessible van with a grant. They have it there. So they hired somebody or have somebody on staff that researches all this stuff. And so you have funding your handicap access van with a grant, see? So you could have bad eyesight and you need that or whatever. Oh, I don't know if you want to be driving. But you know what I mean. Okay, funding sources directory for iPads and other mobile devices, okay? So you have a disability and you want an iPad. or a mobile phone or something like that. They've done the research, you know. Oh, Tracy, how do you become a member? How do you become a member? www.letsgo.com, and it's $20, and you're pissed off that I didn't help you well enough. I'll give you your money back. Don't worry about it. So this is for funding for iPads and other mobile. So anybody with disability, available grants for people with a disability. Woo! Now that just covers everybody, right? So somebody did all this reading. That's what you need. If you go and Google, you know, funding for grants for people with a disability, you know, you're going to get 20, 30 billion websites. You can't do that. You found somebody who got this. See, I even had a printer. I printed this out so I could do it on my run. So what? The Christopher Reeve Foundation grants. There's a Sunshine Lady Foundation, Home Depot Foundation Community Impact Grants. I don't know what they are, but Home Depot's giving out money. Mobility Vehicle and Access Loans. So here's loans for mobility vehicles and access. So that's it. How would you know that there is total and permanent disability discharge of student loans? Okay, it shows you if you have a disability, how to get your student loan discharge. Get rid of your student loan. I've written that somewhere. It's been a while. But see, how would you know that? See, somebody's done the research. You don't know what to ask to find it. Would you use the word discharge? It sounds like a leaky toilet or a body part. That's discharging, right? But no, you want to get your loan discharged. How the hell would you know that? That's why these nonprofit organizations that do this, and I know in my health section, I have a lot of organizations like there's somebody wrote just the National Institute of Health has all the grants just for people with cancer. I mean, that's a great thing. You'll never find that. It'll take your lifetime just to find that in Google. You don't have many lifetimes to waste. You only got one. Miscellaneous financial resources. Retail savings guides for people with disabilities. I don't know what that is, but pandemic funding sources. I thought I have them all, but maybe I don't. I'm going to look and steal whatever I can from them. Okay, prescription assistance. Okay, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 programs here. That's just lists of other programs on just prescription drugs. You know what we're wasting on prescription drugs? The cost that people, it's terrible. So, okay, find all these. See, and just to find those, and one of them is Needymeds, my favorite healthcare website. See, it's what they call these people are curators. They're like curators in a museum. You know, where a museum just takes. You know, we have the Black History Museum now, and so how are you going to do 200 years of Black history? No, they take out things that are best representative of that. So that's what these people do. Either you go to Google and get 200 years of information, or you go to these nonprofits that create a resource guide, or these are the best sources for here. Okay, fertility treatment grants and scholarships. How'd you like to get a fertility scholarship? That sounds fun. I wish I knew that at 18. There's a lot of good jokes in that somewhere, right? Baby Quest Foundation. How do you like that? Scholarships for people with disabilities. Oh, see, that's scholarships. So somebody did all the research. People asking me for that. See, what I do is show them, hey, I did it here. Special needs planning. I'm not sure what that is, but I guess you have to plan. Find a special needs attorney, Keystone Hope Special Needs Foundation, Academy of Special Needs Planners. See, what's neat about our country, if you get 10 people have the same problem, they'll form some kind of association, a group, or on the internet, it's a group like this, you know, and that's where you get it, because these people have been through it. You don't want to use Google. That's why Google's the devil. So don't get sucked in by the devil, because they're nice and sweet, and they show you little to get you in the to get you in the tent, and then they get your money. That's what marketing is. So that's why you got telecommunications assistance, Lifeline program. That's just one. See, there's more. They're going to miss some. Veterans resources, Veterans First, Wounded Warrior. There's a whole bunch of groups. Cars for troops. See, there's cars for troops. Segs for vets. Is that segways? Hey, that's segways for vets. That's pretty cool. Wheelchair donations. See, all this stuff. So this is, okay, to find this, you have a disability, you know somebody has a disability, that's another thing. What I see now, people in Let's Go Help, they're helping their parents pay their mortgage or whatever, and please use me that way. I mean, I can help members of your family or friends or anything, and I can send you a resource. It's important to do that. I mean, it's like, you gotta, a box of cookies, you can't eat them all, right? Share them with when I was a kid, there, Snickers, big enough to share with a friend. Now it looks a little small, doesn't it? You're not going to share that with a friend. You eat the whole sucker. But my stuff is unlimited, so share it with your friends. Whether you say you got it from me or not, I don't give a shit. The important thing is that people who need help get it. I'll figure out how to make a living. If this doesn't do it, it'll make me try to be smart enough to figure another way. That means it just proves I was dumb and I have to do it another way. And that's what life is, showing you how dumb you are. And that's the only way you're going to learn. Oh, I could swim. I could jump in there. Oh, shit, I can't swim at all. And you get out of that. So to find this group, it's called United Spinal Association. And you're looking for the Spinal Cord Resource Center. I should have wrote the website here, but I forget my keys a lot when I go out of the apartment, so I'm sure I always forget something. Spinal Cord Resource Center, financial assistance for individuals with disabilities. Okay, it says printer-friendly version. So print it up and write it out. Give it to people so they know where to go to this help. A lot of needs out there, and that's why if you're looking for stuff to do, man, find somebody who needs help and just try to help them get it. You'll learn a lot yourself, make you feel good, and then you'll learn a way to maybe make money at it too. And that's the best part, right? But just don't go to Google, okay? That's the last place. After you learn all this stuff, then you could go swim with the sharks because you know how to swim around with a cage. Otherwise, you go jump in the water, you're going to be swimming with the sharks in Google. So be careful.